Shit. Yo, everyone, welcome back. We are live once again.
We're back. We're back every single day for maybe the past month now, hey?
It just never stops, man. Every day we're coming back.
Every day on that grind, bro. Every day, another grind.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
Alright, so this episode is going to be a bit different. We're going to be talking about why your marketing sucks and why this video is going to help you fix your marketing, okay? And now, a lot of people teach marketing in a lot different way to the way me and Mark do. So right now, like after every single podcast, we jump on Clubhouse. If you guys don't know what Clubhouse is, like where all the entrepreneurs, all the millionaires, all those people just come in and talk about stuff, celebrities. And anyway, we jump in there and we argue with traditional marketers about why our marketing strategy is better than theirs. So that's basically what we're going to be doing on this podcast. We're going to be explaining to you why our marketing strategy is a lot better than what you could research on the internet. Because what you can research on the internet is not going to be modernized and it's not going to be exclusive to your business and how it operates.
So basically, like we're talking about the old, back in the 20th freaking 2000
newspaper,
BCE,
billboards,
back in the day kind of shit that like right now, if you use that shit, you're not gonna get what you would have back in the day. So this
100%.
is why we're talking about the modernized style of marketing.
For sure. So the first step that you have to do is you have to conduct market research, right? Now, in terms of conducting market research, it's actually a lot different depending on where your business is. Like, for example, if you're a corporate social industry, right? Yeah. And you deal with big companies, likely you're going to have a system that reads your customer's profile. So like you give the system, okay, I want someone who has an interest in Windows, right?
Yeah.
And Legend said can't hear other homie on IG. Okay. Can they not hear you, Mark? They can't hear you, I think. Wait, talk, Mark?
Yo, can you hear me?
No. Okay, give me a sec. Hang on. Let me change that now. Talk now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's good. Sorry, bro. Is the stream frozen or are we good on IG?
No, the IG is good.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, so anyway, back to what we're talking about. So, like, let's say you want to sell Windows, right? Or you want to sell a rap album since Legends here. We might as well make it exclusive, right? You want to sell a rap album, you want to market to people that are looking up that stuff, right? You want to market to people that are listening to certain types of music, looking up window seals, whatever, right? Now, if you're at like a top end industry, right? There's going to be a system that allows you to choose those customers that have those habits in their research. But if you're like us, you have to use your own strategies, right? And that's what market research is all about. It's about researching what customer you actually want to see your ad based on their habits when they're shopping or when they're browsing the internet.
And also, like, when you're coming now, straight fresh, you don't know the market and all that shit. Like, that's the most important part to do, conducting market research, because that shows you the path to your market. That shows you what your product is going to be about, what your service is going to be about, who your target customer is going to be. Like, everything you do after that is going to come back to market research, because
for sure
you're literally finding the ins and outs of that market and you're developing a strategy that you can create to market whatever you're pitching out.
For sure. And like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because it was low-key private, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yeah.
There is only 20 companies in the world who have access to the back end of Google.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if we're allowed to say it, but I'm just gonna say it. Fuck it. There's only 20 companies, and the reason why Google gave them the access is because they what they did is that they created like software that helped with marketing a lot better than what the back end of Google was actually at, right? So like the back end of Google, right? You can see what people are researching on Google, right?
Yeah.
You can see what they're researching in terms of like I said, looking up Windows, whatever. Now, having access to that is obviously going to be a massive advantage for your business, right?
Yeah.
Clearly. Now, what has happened is all these big fucking industries have hired people that have studied Google's like analytics, right?
Yeah.
So much better that it was actually better than the back end stuff that Google wasn't providing to the businesses. So Google just gave up and basically gave it. And we found out there was only 20 companies in the world that have access to this, right? And so So you'd obviously understand that those companies would be the ones that are advertising the best because they know exactly what people are researching on Google. They know the trends, they know the consumer habits, and they can market directly to them. Whereas for us who don't have access to that because we're not a part of the 20 companies in the world, we're gonna have to do it a different way, right? And that's through honestly market analysis and market research.
And it's quite easy. Like if you're just coming in, there's ways to do this, and you can do it through surveys, interviews, literally focus groups. I see focus group, a lot of like businesses do that because it just brings in people who are just ordinary people. They literally just ask questions or like rate whatever they're pitching. And
Sure.
it's also through like your customers. Like you start asking your customers what they like about this product, or how would they feel about you coming out with this new product that you've been thinking. Like let me give you an example, but I don't know if it's on top of my head. Like we'll talk about iPhone, right?
Right.
Doesn't iPhone always like come out with the designs like, and then they pitch, like they don't pitch it, they just like put it out there before
they pay media to promote it.
It's like they pave the way for it, and then people are like, shit, this is sick. And like when they came out with their headphones, right?
Yeah.
They kind of like put it out there and like listen to what people would think, and everyone was like, just because it's Apple, they're gonna buy it. And so they came out with it, and everyone was paying $800 for it, which is literally just a headset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, because
it's like good listening to customers to know what you're in for.
And not only that, like you said, you can get a sample, right? Like, let's say you're releasing a soft drink, for example, right? I steal the Clubhouse examples all the time. You get a soft drink, you're going to market it, you're going to go give free samples to 2 different ranges of people and see who reacts the best to it, and then you'll know who's like where you could target it and whether people will actually like it, right? And that gets us into our next point, which is profiling those target markets, right? Like knowing the location and the demographics, the behavior and the lifestyle of the people that you are actually selling to, right? Let me tell you something. If I wasn't a small business owner, I couldn't do this business. I can't because I don't know what goes through a small business owner's head when they're trying to digitalize their platform, right? Like you can study it, sure. Like I said, you can study everything in life, but until you actually do it and know it, and it's very hard to relate, right? But now us being small business owners, we can relate to them, right? We can eventually assist them and look at them and be like, fuck, we've been in that position. This is what we did. This is what we wish we would have had known. And this is why you should do this, right? Whereas if we weren't, like, we wouldn't be able to relate it in that way.
I know what you mean. And it's basically like knowing the way for it. Let's get into the profile and targeting of markets, right? When you get into a market, you gotta know like the geography, the location, all that shit, like the demographic, as Mark just mentioned before. And these 2 things, like just geography and demographics, those are the 2 like most, like I'll say they're the most important thing when it comes to, let's say, Facebook targeting. Facebook ads, Google ads, because those two, if you're not targeting the right people first and you're not targeting the right location, then you're just basically just throwing money out of your pocket for no reason. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because when it comes to, like, let's say Facebook ads, as we're just mentioning, Facebook ads, Facebook puts your ad in front of people that you want it to go to, right?
Right.
So if you just place the demographic as like the default, which is like 18 to 65, that's gonna show your thing to everyone from 18 to 65. That means your product will be shown like to everyone, even though your product, like, say like the people from like 40 to 65 won't be interested in it. So that's just a waste of money. So you gotta know the right age, the right like income of people, like the right demographic and the right location for you to like bring better like sales through your advertising.
For sure. And you're touching on a good point that if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one, right? And that's like one of the most important rules. And let me just add a twist to that, right? Because a lot of people take that so specifically, right? But let me tell you, if you can market to a specific audience but grab the attention of everyone else as well. What I mean by that is, let's say you're marketing to women aged 30 to 65, right? And but that doesn't mean that everyone outside of that age can't see what you're doing to those women, what they actually are achieving through your product or service. For example, you're selling a soft drink and you post videos of her enjoying that soft drink, right? Like, that's going to show other people and give the attention on your brand. Because just like the important attention is the consumers, overall attention is important as well, right? If your name is not in the words, like it's not in the conversation of soft drinks, then it's probably not relevant, right? It's going to be hard to grow. But if your name is in the conversation of soft drinks, not only will it make those people who are exclusively enjoying it more exclusive, but it will also grow, right? It'll grow. And your demographic, although you're marketing to specific people, other people will want it just for the purpose of you marketing what they're actually like experiencing after enjoying your product or service, right? And in terms of gender as well, I think gender is really important, and I think we skipped over it. I think when you're marketing, you have to know whether your audience are predominantly male or predominantly females. I remember someone in the comments, I think it was Rudy. He said, my dad. He said that Toyota was lacking in sales, and they had done some research to find out that everyone that was making the decisions on the cars were females, right? And so they started to design their cars. They started to design their cars predominantly for females, and it changed the game for them, and they started increasing in sales again.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people like a lot of businesses. They think like they're doing good, they're marketing to the right people, but they literally are not. And they forget that. They always think like, oh,
Nissan. It was Nissan.
It was Nissan, yeah.
It was Nissan. Sorry, thanks, Dad. Yeah.
Yeah, they always think that, oh, just we can't make sales because maybe it's just a rough patch happening in the markets right now. But they don't look outside the square. Like, why is this not happening? And then that's where all this shit comes into place, and you got to check literally every single aspect of these little things to know what you're doing wrong in terms of your marketing. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting out a bit. Yeah, we can't hear you, Mark. Sorry guys, Mark's just a bit. How you going today as well? You know, this happens on a daily. He needs to thank. We got to thank TPG for this.
And you're good?
Yeah, you're coming back.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I bet. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I was done.
All right. Yeah. So like, you know, the gender is just as important, and people think that advertising is fine, right? You can hear me, yeah?
We can hear you. Yeah, live is back on.
Like, people think that, you know, you can advertise like wherever and whatever, as long as you're advertising. Sure, that's good to start, right? Like, you know, start your advertising that way. But eventually, like, you're going to realize advertising to Karen across the street about, you know, your rap song isn't going to help. Right? Or advertising to vegans about your meat is not going to help, right? Eventually, you're going to have to really find out who's going to enjoy your product or service. And I remember we spoke to someone who said that, like, you know, if you understand the pain point of that your product or service is targeting, then you just link to that pain point to the person who's going to be having that. Is it going to be a little kid? Is it going to be an influencer? Is it going to be a small business owner? Whatever it is, that's going to be your target market, right?
Yeah.
And we touched a little bit on behavior, but behavior is very important. Behavior and lifestyle, you know, like, where are they spending most of their time? Are they at coffee shops, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to Woolies? Are they online shopping? Like, where is your ideal customer going to be, right? For us, it's like we have to find out where a small business owner is going to be, right?
Yeah.
And we know that they're very active in Facebook groups, right? We know that for a fact. And like other places as well. And that's where like your marketing can get really creative. For example, if you know that you're targeting people that would be at a coffee shop often, then you'd go and put your business cards at that coffee shop and you'd ask them to promote it or whatever. If you think they're going to be at a milk bar, you do the same. So there is a sense of traditional marketing that will help in this, but obviously digital marketing will always overthrow that. But you can get creative.
And let's go on to the third point, which I've touched on this like a million times on Instagram, and it's identifying your unique selling propositions. And what this like USP is, it's basically like, why should customers come for you rather than your competitors? What's unique about your service? Like, it's like you got to know these questions, like, what do you love the most about your product or your service that other consumers are going to love? Like, what special skills or knowledge do you have that separates your brand from your competitors? What makes customers come to you or your competitors, like I said before? And how do customers benefit through purchasing this product or service? Like, is it going to solve a problem?
And to anyone who didn't understand what Mark just said, what separates you from the market?
Pretty much,
Basically, is
yeah.
the best way. What makes you not another Joe who just made a business? You know, what makes you another Tom, Dick, or Harry, right? And let me tell you something. If anyone like that just heard that said, "Oh, my unique selling position is that my prices are low," I can go lower. Then what? It's out of the market, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't undercut like so many businesses when they first start off, including me. I'll be honest. When I first started my business, I did this. They think they can undercut the whole fucking market, and that's their unique selling proposition. We're the cheapest. It's like, okay.
That doesn't work all the time.
Thanks for cutting a whole industry down
Yeah.
to fucking less money. But seriously, like it has to be something unique. Like, let me give you an example, right? And you got to know this off the top, because when people ask you, like your friends, your family, they literally ask you, what do you do? Like that question is, what is your purpose? What are you actually trying to achieve, right?
Yeah.
If someone wants to ask me that, I tell them, like, we're trying to modernize the digital marketing world. What we have is modernized ideas that will digitalize your profile and increase your conversion rates in a way that no other media agency can do, right?
Yeah.
We target small business owners, and we have the experience of small business owners, and we understand your struggles because we've been through them, right? And no one else is going to say that, right? No one else is going to say that. If you're if you're in the music industry, right? Like I've asked a few musicians, like, what separates your music from others?
Yeah.
And they buckle, right? They buckle. And that's fair, because sometimes it's hard because, like, like they think it's just one genre, like rap, grime, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But what separates your music? I could like tell you, like, what separates Eminem's music from everyone else is that he's probably the only white rapper who could touch on like topics that no other white rapper could, right? And he pushed boundaries of like, things that, talking about things that no one could say, right? And his ability to like follow a flow and a rap scheme is something that separates him from every other rapper, right? And you see that because every other rapper that comes out, like 6ix9ine, all these people, they all had something different about them that set them apart. And I think that is what people need to understand for their business, right? If you're an influencer, why should people come to your Instagram page? Why shouldn't they just go to Kim Kardashian's page, right? Yeah. Why should people be looking at your brand? Why should people be watching this podcast right now and not watching $1 million production set, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing. And people like that should be your first point when you start your business.
Like, let me give you an example. Like one of the biggest, obviously, like unique selling propositions of one of the businesses, like KFC. We freaking love KFC. Who doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
100%.
What sets them aside from other people is that they say nobody makes chicken like KFC. So right there, that's a unique thing about them. So they're literally telling you that wherever you go, you're not gonna find chicken like they have.
100.
So that literally solves the customer's problem. That's like, shit, okay, I'm gonna get that chicken. Like, that's okay, right. Now they're better than they're better than that chicken shop across the road from me that I normally go to. I'm gonna go here now. See that they just created like they created a path where the customer stops going to that people that they used to go to, and now they're gonna come to them. So it literally just like separates them from the market and makes them 100%. The leaders.
And what would separate them, like charcoal chicken from KFC, right?
Yeah,
it's that chicken will say like, oh, like KFC will say chicken. The chicken will say KFC will say like, there's no other chicken like this, right? And so if you're listening to this and you're running something that you're trying to monetize, and you're sitting there and you're saying, "Fuck, I don't know my USP." The best way to understand your unique selling proposition is take it right back to why you started your business. What made you think that your business? Yeah. Why would someone come to your business when there's other people in the industry already? Is the best way to think about it, right?
Exactly.
And also, if you don't have something, like if you sat there for a day after this podcast and you're like, "Fuck, I'm so vanilla," right? Like I'm literally just another man in the market, right? Like I'm literally falling in. Then change something about your business. Add something. Add some flavor to your business, right? No one likes vanilla. Back in the days, everyone loved it. Every single big industry can go do a TV advertisement, can go put themselves in the newspaper, and that's it. You get paid $8,000 and your advertising is done. Doesn't matter about conversion rates, doesn't matter about all that shit, right? Times have changed. People want to see new, people want to see unique, and people want to understand why you're selling what you're selling and why they should buy from you. And if you don't understand that, go and listen. Or just DM us as well. Like, we'll help
That's
you
it.
find it as well.
That's it. And let's move on to the next one. And then the next one here is you gotta
I'm
have.
bullish.
Huh?
I'm bullish on this one.
Yeah, we always talk about it. You gotta develop a business brand, like your brand, and that is one of the most important things, because what your brand tells about your what the brand tells about your business is what your values are, how you communicate with your product, what literally what your whole business is about. It paints a picture for the consumer what you're all about. And like what's it called? What's his name from Amazon? The guy.
Which one?
Jeff Bezos. Yeah, he says that branding is literally what people say about you when you're not in the room. So what he's talking about is your brand leaves an impression. It makes people talk about your brand. So literally, when you have that set, you've won the market. You've won marketing, because you don't have to do anything else anymore. Word of mouth will deliver your marketing, but you gotta make sure it's positive word of mouth, like positive values that you're putting forward. Because one negative thing about your brand, like you create, that's it. Forget it. Like word of mouth travels fast. So when people are talking bad about your brand, anything you do to change it, you're gonna lose so much money until you clear your name out.
For sure. And like, bro, just think about it for a second. Like, you know, if people are not in business and they're trying to get in business and they don't really understand what we're saying, like, think about when you find out your mate has been talking shit behind your back. How much does that hurt, right? Because you know that what they say when you're not listening is their honest opinion, right? Anything anyone says when you leave the room, that's their honest opinion, because they know they can't hurt you through it. Exact same with branding. Whatever someone says about your branding is going to be exactly what they feel about it, because you're not there to hear it, right? Like, everyone can say to our face, oh, this podcast is amazing. They could turn around to their friend, fuck, bro, that shit was trash, bro. What was that? You know? So like, understanding and knowing through like habits, knowing how your branding is performing, getting insights from your consumers is so important for that, right? And if you miss this part, then you'll be living a fake life where your brand looks amazing, but no, you don't actually know what's said behind the room. And let me go on and say, like, a lot of traditional digital marketers, especially on Clubhouse, give us a lot of shit for the way we're bullish on branding, right? The way we talk about branding, like it's one of the most important things. But let me tell you what the difference between branding back then and the branding now is. Branding back then is, hi, this is Allianz Insurance. That's right. Branding now is Gary Vee fucking leveraging a 2-year NFT project about principles of his VaynerMedia brand and making multi-millions of it. That's the difference between traditional branding and now we're talking real personal branding. See, back then, people used to custom themselves to make themselves sellable to a customer. No one wants that anymore. Everyone can sell themselves. I could sit here and tell you I'm the best digital marketer in the world, right? But if I sit here and tell you, oh, I started from the bottom, you know, I had no money. I started off with 200 in my bank account. My dream is to help as many small business owners in the world and become the best digital marketer in the world. Do you see the difference between the two? One, you feel like, all right, this guy's straight talking shit. He's just selling himself, right? He's a good salesperson. The other one is, oh shit, I connect to him like a human, right? And that's the difference between branding back then and branding now. And when you link that to your business, not only are you putting a name and a face to your business, but you're making your connection with your customers more personal. And all the Fortune 500 companies that are still doing shit that no one knows why they're doing in 2021, they need to be watching this episode. That us,
and let me touch on a good point you mentioned. You said, what would you say? Guys, I feel no, you were talking about the
personal branding,
personal
Allianz Insurance.
No, okay, personal branding, so about selling yourself. So you're gonna be selling yourself, but you gotta do it in a positive, honestly. Honestly, if you fake that shit, you're gonna get caught out. We spoke about this yesterday. You can't fake yourself, because the second you fake it, you're gonna maybe make 1, 2, 3, 4 sales, but then people are gonna catch on to what you're doing. And so when we're here talking about ourselves and shit, we're saying, we're helping small businesses. That's our aim. This, that. We're being honest. We're being real, because we're not profiting from this shit. But
Yeah.
if you go on and fake it, then people are gonna know the truth behind it.
For sure. And we were speaking in a clubhouse stream yesterday, and some guy pulled me to the side. He's like, listen, like, I know you got a passion and stuff, but like there's lots of people fronting about their passion, right? That they want to help as many people as they can. You're obviously profiting off these people. And I'm like to him, like, bro, like, go look at our Instagram, right? Like, we drop every single tip that we learn, we drop, right?
Yeah.
And we drop, like, we give like the most freest shit there is, right? No one's doing that, right? No one's dropping free shit like that. People are making expensive ebooks. People are making $500, $600 teaching courses. We're here speaking about our experience as we learn it, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, when the reason why it's such a competitive market is because everyone is trying to do that, right? Everyone, because now it's hip to do that. Now it's popular. Now being like passionate is popular, but that's not the whole point, right? Like, if you're not passionate, you can't fake it out, right? Because you fuck it for people who are genuine like us. Because now we have to prove ourselves to the market, right?
And
we're genuine.
And look at it this way: a lot of people are selling literally what we offer, like what we give out for free. The tips we post on our Instagram, the articles that Mark literally writes, they are full of shit that people are selling. And like Gary Vee says, literally, like, you can't sell ideas. Everyone's doing 100 million different things. So that's what, like, with Gary Vee, let me use Gary Vee as an example. His like $1 billion mates, they tell him, why are you not monetizing all this shit? Why are you not profiting from giving your free information? But he says, why would I have to do that when I'm literally the best in this market?
That's right.
Like, if exactly, he's not scared. So I'm not here trying to front up on you, telling you, oh, you can come at me, I'm not scared. Like, it's not about that, but it's how you, like, if you're confident in what you're doing.
We're using ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we're using ourselves as an example, right? Because people, they can say, oh, like, we care about this people, but then you're gonna overcharge them, but then you're not gonna answer their DMs when they question it, right? Like how many people sit there on Twitter? Oh yeah, like, you know, I love my fans. DM me if you need, reach out, blah blah blah, and you reach out and they don't reply, right? That's fronting, right?
Yeah.
You gotta actually be about your shit, because especially when you're in a room full of people who have actually made like real money, built a whole empire, and they didn't say anything about passion, right? Like, there's heaps of people on Clubhouse who talk to, like, bro, like, all it is about is making money, right? Like, and fair enough, like, that's how they built their empire, right? It worked back then. But the thing is, right? The thing is that they have understood how we do it, and they're like, yo, like, are you really about it, right? Like, are you really about it? And I love people that pull us up on that shit, because we back it, right?
Yeah.
And our pages back it. But for anyone else trying to do this and you're not backing it, it's a struggle and it's a worry. Like, how long are you going to keep that act up just to look good in front of people? How many not-for-profit businesses are going to pay you to advertise your shit, right? Like stop fronting, right? Stop
I know what I
fronting.
mean. Exactly, bro. It's like, and let's just go back a bit to the branding and shit.
Yeah.
When a lot of people hear branding, they always think about making the best logo so they can be like have the best looking logo, this, that. Sometimes, like, having a good logo is really important, because let's look at Coca-Cola. They have a like freaking red logo with the circle, because red like, and what's that word? Accentuates. What's that word?
Red accentuates.
Like red gives out like this vibe. Like, it's like a strong.
Talking about urgency? Are you talking about urgency?
Huh?
Are you talking about urgency?
No. No. I'm talking about color psychology when it comes to branding.
Yeah.
So look at Coca-Cola. Yeah, they have the red. Like, what does the red symbolize?
Urgency. It's like,
urgency. It gives like a strong presence in the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
so you're talking about
like, I'm just saying, like, having a good logo with a good design, the good color with a good color psychology linked to it is all good and that. But your brand, when it comes to branding, we just mentioned what, like, really is the point of it. You got to make sure you behind the brand, like, you as a person, you've, like, how do I say it? Like, I don't know how to say it.
You've understood it. You've understood the assignment. Like, you know what your brand and your logo represent, and it's made specifically for that purpose, right?
No. Like, I'm saying, like, it's not all about the logo, because a lot of people always think it's about the logo, making the best logo. But branding as a whole, it's delivering to your customers. It's how you're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, like the logo and the brand follow each other, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the logo, like, yeah, you're right. A lot of people stress about their logo way too much. Like, bro, you're stressing about your logo and your personal brand hasn't even started, right? And
Yeah.
logos can change at the end of the day. But I think the colors and the way you emit what you want and what you want them to hear and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Is the most important thing. And I think we're hitting that 30-minute mark. So I think we have to turn this into a 2-part series, bro.
I think so too, bro. Because this is an exciting topic, and at the same time, like it's a topic that a lot of people like haven't learned. Like it's something a lot of people need to know.
They've learned it in the traditional way. Like they went and did their digital marketing course on SEMrush, and they're like, "Yep, I'm a digital marketer now."
or they did like a subject back in high school on marketing, and they just literally opened the book and closed it.
Literally, and like when I spoke to other marketers, and bro, I'm like fronting on these guys. These guys are millionaires. When I spoke to them and I told them, guys, like, listen, like, you guys made it, fair enough, like you did well, but modern marketing is so much different. Until you try it, you can't say that it's more, that it's less, because the stats are there, right? And Gary Vee talks about it all the time. Fortune 500 companies are investing about 80%. Don't quote me on the percentage. 80% of their marketing into TV advertisement, newspapers, all the traditional marketing. And you know what's happening to their net worth? They're plummeting.
And I don't want to brag or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let me just tell them what they said to us yesterday when we said when Mark literally kind of dissed them. He said, "You guys are all traditional." Where
I told them they're evil.
He pretty much told them that you're gonna get bankrupt if you continue on the way you are doing. And you know what they said to us? They said, "You guys are headed in the right direction, and we want to learn from you." Like, you're having these millionaires who their whole life have been marketing in that traditional 18th, like 19th, like the 10th century type of shit, you know. And now they want to modernize, they want to adapt to the new ways, and they're saying they're asking 20-year-olds to help them with that shit, you know. That's what I mean. Like those people, they know that the youngsters are who are the experts in this new modernized marketing market. And that's why Gary Vee does marketing for the now, because he knows who's listening.
100%. And our version of marketing for the now is marketing for the majority. So
yeah, that's it.
But no, for real, guys, like, remember, you can learn off everyone. Like, we diss traditional marketers because they diss us, right? It's like this ongoing thing that we always have going, but we learn a lot from them. Like, I learn a lot when I go speak to them, and they learn a lot when they speak to us, because we're coming from two completely different parts of the world. And the reality of it is, if you're a traditional marketer and you're not putting the hard yards in to learn the new shit, your business, you're failing the people that you're working for. And straight up, like, I'm speaking from love, right? Like, if I want you to succeed, you gotta learn the new shit, right? If you're not, then that's it. Anyway, do we have anything else to talk about, or are we good here?
I think
we're sweet.
We'll be coming up with a part 2 during this week. We're not gonna specify a day, so make sure you're here every single day, so you know when we're gonna come out with a part 2.
For sure. And so guys, I'm gonna post this link for you guys to put your business in starting from Monday. What will happen is we're going to be doing it daily. I know we've been fronting that we're gonna do it daily, and we haven't been doing it daily, and today we don't have one. But tomorrow we're gonna have one, and every single day from that. So make sure you get in. We're making our list right now of 1, 2, 3. You're gonna get an email or a message saying that we're doing your business today. So if you want that on IG, DM me the number 1, and I'll send you the thing. If you're on Facebook, it's all over my Facebook, and I'm just posting it in the chat now. If you're on Twitch, it's in the Twitch chat as well. Any that's it, we're good.
I think we're good, guys.
Sweet as. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're live every single night at 8:30, possibly changing that time. We'll keep you updated on that.